Priscilla Presley found the diary by accident. She was cleaning out Elvis's personal library at Graceland 3 months after their divorce became final, looking for photo albums Lisa Marie had asked about. Behind a row of spiritual books, there was a leather journal she'd never seen before. The lock was broken. Inside, in Elvis's handwriting, were entries that made her hands shake. Entries about things he'd discovered, things that put him in danger, things that explained everything. And as she read the final entry, dated just 2 days ago, Priscilla realized she had to call the police. Because Elvis Presley wasn't just in trouble, he was being hunted.
April 22nd. Crawford is dead. Car accident in Nevada. Single vehicle crash. Police say he fell asleep at the wheel. But Crawford was former FBI, trained driver, and he was running from something, or someone. I can't prove anything, but I know Colonel had him killed. And if he did that to Crawford, what will he do to me? This is where the journal gets truly terrifying, because Elvis didn't just document the conspiracy, he documented his plan to expose it. And what he wrote next explains why he knew his life was in danger. Priscilla's hands were shaking so badly she could barely hold the journal. She wanted to stop reading, but she had to know. She had to understand what Elvis had been going through while their marriage was falling apart. Why he'd seemed so paranoid, so erratic, so desperate. April 30th. I can't trust anyone around me. Can't tell anyone what I know. Priscilla and I are getting divorced, but it's not because I don't love her. It's because I need her and Lisa Marie far away from this, safe. If Colonel thinks they're leverage he can use against me, they're in danger. The divorce is protection. She doesn't understand. She thinks I'm pushing her away because of the pills, the other women, the pressure. But it's because I love her. I need her safe. Tears streamed down Priscilla's face. All those fights, all that pain. Elvis had been protecting her, and she'd thought he was abandoning her. May 5th. I've made a plan. I'm going to make copies of everything. All the evidence Crawford collected, all the documents I've found, everything I know. I'm going to hide them in multiple locations. Then I'm going to tell my story. Maybe to the FBI, maybe to the press, maybe both. But I'm going to expose Colonel Parker for what he is. A thief, a manipulator, a murderer. May 12th. Colonel knows something is wrong. He's been watching me more closely, asking questions, showing up unannounced. Yesterday, he came to Graceland at 6 a.m., just walked in, said he was checking on me. But I saw him looking around, searching. He knows I have evidence. He's looking for it. May 18th. I've hidden everything. One set of documents is in a safety deposit box in Memphis under a fake name. Another set is with my lawyer in California, a new lawyer Colonel doesn't know about. A third set is buried in the backyard at Graceland under the meditation garden. And I made tapes, audio recordings explaining everything. Those are hidden too. If something happens to me, the truth will come out. It has to. May 25th. Someone tried to break into Graceland last night. Security chased them off, but I know who sent them. Colonel wants the evidence. He'll do anything to get it. I sleep with a gun under my pillow now. I never thought my life would come to this, being afraid in my own home. But here we are. The entries became more sporadic after that. Weeks would pass between writings, and the handwriting got worse, more erratic, more desperate. June 10th. The pills help me forget, help me sleep, help me get through the shows. I know they're dangerous. Dr. Nick warns me every time. But what's more dangerous, the pills or the man who wants me dead? At least the pills give me peace. Temporary, but peace. July 4th, Independence Day. Ironic. I'm not independent. I'm trapped.
Colonel controls my career, my money, my life, and now he's trying to silence me. I performed tonight in Vegas, smiled for the crowd, sang their favorite songs, and the whole time I was thinking, how much longer do I have? When will Colonel make his move? How will he do it? An accident? An overdose blamed on my pill problem? How do you fight an invisible enemy? Hold on, because what Elvis wrote in his next entry will explain everything that happened in his final years. Every erratic behavior, every strange decision, every moment that seemed like madness was actually survival. Priscilla had been reading for over an hour. The sun was setting outside the library. She should stop. She should take this journal to the police right now. But she had to finish. She had to understand what Elvis had been going through while their marriage was falling apart. Why he'd seemed so paranoid, so erratic, so desperate. August 15th. I've decided. I'm going to do one final tour. International. The world tour Colonel always refused to let me do. I'm going to announce it publicly, make it so big he can't stop it. And during that tour, I'm going to meet with journalists, authorities, people who can help me, away from Memphis, away from Colonel's control. It's my best chance, maybe my only chance. September 3rd. I told Colonel about the world tour plan. He exploded, said it was impossible, that I'm not healthy enough, that international travel is too risky. All the same excuses. But this time, I didn't back down. I told him it's happening with or without him. He got quiet. That scared me more than the yelling. When Colonel gets quiet, he's planning something. September 20th. Someone poisoned my food last night. I'm sure of it. I got violently ill after dinner. Vomiting, fever, couldn't breathe. They rushed me to the hospital. Doctors said it was food poisoning, but I know it was a warning. Colonel is showing me he can get to me any time, even in Graceland, even surrounded by security. He's saying, cancel the world tour, or next time it won't be a warning. October 10th. I canceled the world tour, publicly blamed it on health issues. The truth is, I'm scared. I'm scared of dying. I'm scared of what Colonel will do. I'm a coward. The king of rock and roll is a coward who can't stand up to his own manager. November 8th. Maybe I'm going crazy. Maybe none of this is real. Maybe I'm paranoid from the pills and the pressure and the fear. Maybe Colonel isn't trying to kill me. Maybe Crawford's death really was an accident. Maybe I'm inventing conspiracies because I can't face the truth, that I'm weak, that I gave someone else control of my life, and now I don't know how to take it back. December 25th, Christmas. Lisa Marie came to visit. She's so beautiful, so innocent. She doesn't know her daddy is falling apart. She doesn't know I might not be here next Christmas. I gave her a necklace and told her I love her. She said, I love you too, Daddy. Don't be sad. Kids see everything. She knows something is wrong. I wish I could protect her from all of this. I wish I could be the father she deserves. The next entry wasn't until March 1974, almost 3 months later. March 1st, 1974. I've made a decision. I'm going to stop fighting. I'm going to let Colonel win. Because fighting him might get me killed, but it will definitely put others in danger. Priscilla, Lisa Marie, Billy, anyone who helps me. I can't risk them. So I'll be good. I'll do what Colonel says. I'll perform where he books me. I'll take the money he gives me and not ask questions. I'll be the puppet he's always wanted. At least everyone else will be safe. May 15th, 1974. Every day is the same now. Wake up, take pills, perform, take more pills, sleep. Repeat. I'm not living anymore. I'm existing, going through the motions. The king is dead. The crown is a prop. The throne is a chair I'm chained to. But everyone is safe. That's what matters. They're safe. The final entry was dated March 11th, 1975, 3 days ago.
This final entry is the most important thing Elvis ever wrote, because in it, he made a decision that would either save his life or end it. And what he wrote explains everything that's about to happen. Priscilla held her breath as she read the last page. March 11th, 1975. I had a dream last night. My mama came to me. She was young again, like in the old photos, beautiful, smiling. She took my hand and said, "Elvis, baby, you gotta stand up. You gotta fight. Even if it's the last thing you do, you gotta fight." I woke up crying, because she's right. I've been a coward for too long. I've let fear control me. But what's the point of being alive if you're not really living? What's the point of surviving if you've lost yourself? So I've made a final decision. I'm going to expose Colonel Parker. All of it. Everything I know, every document, every recording, every piece of evidence. I'm going to give it to the FBI, to the press, to anyone who will listen. Yes, it's dangerous. Yes, Colonel might retaliate, but I can't live like this anymore. I can't die without trying to be free. Tomorrow morning, I'm meeting with an FBI agent in Los Angeles. His name is Special Agent Thomas Morrison. He's with the Organized Crime Division. I reached out through a contact Billy helped me find. Morrison doesn't know who I am yet. The meeting was arranged anonymously. But tomorrow, I'm going to tell him everything. And then, it's out of my hands. The truth will be known. I'll either be free or I'll be dead. But at least I'll have tried. If you're reading this and I'm gone, know that I fought. Know that I didn't go quietly. Know that I loved Priscilla and Lisa Marie more than anything in this world. And know that Colonel Tom Parker is not who he says he is. He's a criminal, a thief, and possibly a killer. Don't let him get away with it. Don't let my death be for nothing. If I survive this, I'm going to be a better man, a better father, a better version of myself. I'm going to take control of my life. I'm going to break free, and I'm going to help others break free too. No more cages, no more chains, just freedom. Tomorrow, everything changes. E.P. The journal ended there. Priscilla closed it with shaking hands. Tomorrow. Elvis had written this 3 days ago, and tomorrow he was supposed to meet with the FBI. That was 2 days ago. Had he made it to the meeting? Was he okay? She stood up, journal clutched to her chest, and ran downstairs to the phone. She dialed Elvis's hotel in Lake Tahoe. The phone rang, and rang, and rang. Finally, someone picked up. Hello? It was Billy Smith. Billy, it's Priscilla. Is Elvis okay? I need to talk to him right now. There was a long pause. Too long. Priscilla. Elvis is in the hospital. Her heart stopped. What? What happened? He collapsed during rehearsal yesterday. They're saying it's exhaustion. Too many pills. But, Billy lowered his voice. But I don't know, Priscilla. The timing is weird. And Colonel is here. He's been in Elvis's hospital room for hours. Won't let anyone else in, not even me. Billy, listen to me. I'm at Graceland. I found Elvis's journal. He wrote about everything. The conspiracy, the evidence, the FBI meeting. Billy, Elvis was supposed to meet with the FBI 2 days ago, the day before he collapsed. Silence. Then, oh my God. We have to get to him. We have to make sure he's safe, and we have to get this journal to the FBI ourselves. I'm coming to Memphis. I'll be there in 6 hours. Don't tell anyone about this. If Colonel finds out, I know. I'll wait for you. And Billy, hurry. What happened in the next 24 hours would determine Elvis's fate, because Colonel Parker had made his move, and now it was a race against time to save the king's life and his legacy. Billy Smith arrived at Graceland at 2 a.m. Priscilla was waiting in the library, the journal and a packed bag beside her. They didn't waste time on pleasantries. The FBI agent Elvis was supposed to meet,
Special Agent Morrison. I found his number," Billy said, pulling out a piece of paper. "We need to call him, now." They used the phone in Elvis's office. It rang twice before a man answered. Morrison. "Special Agent Morrison, my name is Billy Smith. I'm Elvis Presley's cousin. Elvis had a meeting scheduled with you 2 days ago about a sensitive matter. Did he make it to that meeting?" A pause. "Who is this really? How did you get this number?" "This is really Billy Smith, and Elvis gave me this number in case something happened to him. Did he meet with you or not?" Another pause, longer this time. "No, he didn't show up. We waited 3 hours. When he didn't appear and didn't call, we assumed he'd changed his mind. People get cold feet when they're about to testify against powerful figures." "He didn't get cold feet," Priscilla said, leaning close to the phone. "This is Priscilla Presley, Elvis's ex-wife. Elvis collapsed the day before your scheduled meeting. He's in a hospital in Lake Tahoe right now, and we think it wasn't an accident." "What are you suggesting?" "We're suggesting that someone didn't want Elvis to talk to you, and we have evidence, a journal, documents, everything Elvis was going to bring to you. We need to get this information to you, and we need protection, for Elvis, for us, for anyone who knows what's in this journal." "Where are you right now?" "Graceland, Memphis. Stay there. Lock the doors, don't let anyone in. I'm sending agents from our Memphis field office. They'll be there in 30 minutes. Don't talk to anyone else. Understand?" "Yes." "And Mrs. Presley, if what you're saying is true, Elvis Presley is very lucky to have you." The line went dead. Billy and Priscilla looked at each other. Now we wait. But they didn't have to wait long. 20 minutes later, 3 black SUVs pulled up to Graceland's gates, FBI agents. Priscilla brought them into the library and handed over the journal. The lead agent, a woman named Sarah Chen, read through it carefully, her expression growing more serious with each page. When she finished, she looked up. "This is explosive. If even half of this is accurate, we're looking at fraud, conspiracy, embezzlement, possibly murder. We need to get Elvis Presley into protective custody immediately. He's in a hospital in Lake Tahoe, under guard, but the guards are hired by Colonel Parker. Then he's not safe." Agent Chen pulled out her phone. "I'm calling our Las Vegas field office. They can get to Lake Tahoe in 2 hours, but we need to move fast. If Parker suspects Elvis talked or was about to talk, he might try to finish what he started." "What do you mean, finish?" Priscilla asked, though she knew the answer. "Mrs. Presley, according to this journal, Elvis Presley has evidence that could send Colonel Tom Parker to prison for life, maybe multiple people with resources and connections. If they think Elvis is about to expose them, they'll do whatever it takes to silence him permanently." The rescue mission that followed would become one of the most dramatic moments in FBI history. Because saving Elvis Presley wasn't just about protecting a celebrity. It was about exposing a criminal conspiracy that had corrupted the music industry for decades. FBI agents arrived at the Lake Tahoe Hospital at 4:47 a.m. They didn't announce themselves. They simply walked into Elvis's room, badge first, and told the private security guards to leave. When the guards protested, the agents made it clear, leave voluntarily or be arrested for obstruction. Colonel Parker was in the room too. He stood up, cigar in hand, face red with fury. "What the hell is this?" "Thomas Andrew Parker, you're being detained for questioning in connection with fraud, embezzlement, and conspiracy charges. You have the right to remain silent." "This is ridiculous. I'm Elvis's manager. You can't just—" "We can, and we are. Officers, escort Mr. Parker out of this building." As Colonel was led away, still shouting threats and protests, the FBI agents approached Elvis's bed. He was awake, groggy from medication, IVs in his arms. He looked confused. "Mr. Presley," Agent Morrison said gently, "I'm Special Agent Thomas Morrison. You missed our meeting 2 days ago. Your family was worried about you. They gave you your journal." Elvis's eyes widened. Then, slowly, tears began to fall. You read it?" "Every word, and we believe you. All of it. We're going to protect you now, and we're going to investigate everything you documented. But first, we need to get you somewhere safe." "Where?" "A facility we use for protected witnesses. It's secure, private. Once you're healthy enough to travel, we'll move you there. You'll be guarded 24/7 until this is over. And Colonel? Colonel Parker will be facing federal charges. His assets are being frozen as we speak. His access to your accounts, your properties, everything, cut off. He can't touch you anymore, Mr. Presley. You're free. Elvis closed his eyes. More tears fell. Free, he whispered. I never thought I'd hear that word again. Over the next 6 months, the FBI investigation expanded. They discovered everything Elvis had suspected and more. Secret bank accounts, forged contracts, stolen royalties, connections to organized crime, bribes paid to police and judges. The corruption went deeper than anyone had imagined. Colonel Tom Parker was charged with 47 counts of fraud, embezzlement, conspiracy, and racketeering. The trial became a media sensation. Every day, new revelations emerged. Other artists came forward with similar stories. The music industry was forced to confront its darkest secrets. Elvis testified. In a federal courtroom in front of cameras and journalists from around the world, he told his story. He was calm, articulate, sober. He'd spent 6 months in recovery, getting clean, getting healthy, preparing for this moment. For 20 years, Elvis said from the witness stand, I thought I was living the dream, but I was living someone else's dream. I was a product, an asset, a thing to be exploited. And when I tried to break free, they tried to silence me, first with control, then with fear, and finally with violence. The courtroom was silent, but I survived, and now I'm here to make sure this never happens to another artist, never again. Colonel Tom Parker was found guilty on 38 counts. He was sentenced to 25 years in federal prison. He died there in 1997, still claiming he'd done nothing wrong. But Elvis got his life back.
After the trial, Elvis did something nobody expected. He walked away from it all. No comeback tour, no triumphant return to Las Vegas, no press conferences or tell-all interviews. He simply lived. He moved to a small ranch in Hawaii. Just him, a few horses, and the ocean. Lisa Marie visited every summer. Priscilla came too sometimes. They never remarried, but they rebuilt their friendship. Slowly. Carefully. Elvis made music again, but only for himself. He'd record songs in a small home studio and never release them. Because for the first time in his life, music was just music. Not a commodity, not an obligation. Just joy. He learned to surf. He read philosophy books on the beach. He meditated every morning, watching the sun rise over the Pacific. He became, in his own words, just a regular guy named Elvis. In 1982, on Lisa Marie's 14th birthday, Elvis gave her the journal, the one Priscilla had found at Graceland, the one that had saved his life. I want you to have this, he told his daughter, so you understand, so you know what I went through, and so you never let anyone do to you what was done to me. Lisa Marie read it, every word, and when she finished, she hugged her father tighter than she ever had before. Daddy, she said, you're the bravest person I know. Elvis shook his head. No, baby. I was a coward for 20 years. I only got brave when I had no choice. The real brave ones are the people who stood by me. Your mama, Billy, the people who risked everything to save me. But you survived. I did. Against all odds, I survived. On August 16, 2002, exactly 25 years after he would have died in the original timeline, Elvis Presley celebrated his 67th birthday on that beach in Hawaii. Lisa Marie was there, Priscilla, Billy, a handful of real friends. No cameras, no press, no performance, just a man, free. Finally, truly free. As the sun set over the ocean, Elvis picked up an acoustic guitar. He played Can't Help Falling in Love for his daughter. His voice was older now, weathered by time, but still powerful, still full of soul. When he finished, Lisa Marie asked, Dad, do you miss it? The fame, the concerts, being the king? Elvis looked out at the waves, at the orange sky, at the life he'd built from the ashes of the one that almost destroyed him.
You know what, sweetheart? I don't miss being the king, because I finally figured out what I really wanted to be. What's that? He smiled. Just Elvis. Just me. And that's enough. The journal that saved Elvis Presley's life is now in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, displayed in a special exhibit about artist rights and the dark history of music industry exploitation. Millions of people have read excerpts, music students study it, lawyers reference it, artists cite it as the reason they read their contracts carefully. Because Elvis's story, his real story, wasn't about fame or fortune or being the king of rock and roll. It was about a man who lost himself in someone else's dream and then found the courage to wake up. And in waking up, he showed millions of others that they could wake up too. That's the real legacy of Elvis Presley. Not the music, not the movies, not the legend. The freedom.